Did you bring some water?
I didn't. I didn't. I should have. I actually didn't. Today was probably the first day in about 10 days that I didn't wake up and drink it just because last night's dinner wasn't particularly, yeah, it wasn't unhealthy, but there was some processed food in there and some chips. And yeah, I'm pretty regimented about eating whole foods and a vegan diet. So.
Okay, no judgment here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't want to totally control the conversation, but
No, we'll go back.
what do you think about diet and drinking the urine? Obviously pretty important to eat well if you're gonna be drinking the urine, right?
I would say it's a must. First of all, let's go to the holistic approach. And this is what I write about and teach about half for 40 something years. Because if people are just doing urine therapy, just the oral consumption, there's 24 topical protocols. If they're just doing the oral consumption, they don't change their diet, they have a bad attitude, they haven't done well with their emotions in their life, and they don't have any spiritual practices, and chances are it'll hit or miss whether they get better.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I shouldn't say that I didn't do any urine therapy today because it has also become a practice to, yeah, I actually do quite a bit of pranayama practices.
Take a breath with me.
Yeah,
So everything you're doing is adjusting itself as you go. So without having to get too heavy on ourselves, brother, about did we get it dialed in? Did we eat right? Did we supplement right? Are we doing the right exercises? I mean, all these things will fall in place over time, but guilt tripping never helps.
yeah, yeah.
And then if you get into fasting, you get to take a mental vacation from food slavery,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. I've not really experimented with fasting. Read a bunch about it. And are you a practitioner?
All the time, all the time.
Wow.
If you have your last bite of anything, say around 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and they don't have anything solid till about 11 or 12 the next day, you've done an intermittent fast around 16 hours.
That I do. That I actually do pretty firmly adhere to.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you do longer periods sometimes?
Do longer periods, I'll do all day Orin fasting, which is like the new standard of fasting, way past dry fasting and all those other types, because you're getting thousands and thousands of nutrients that your body made just for you. And all day long, you're doing what you normally do without thinking of food all day.
Wow. I can't even imagine it. I'm pretty, I probably have somewhat of an addictive personality, but food is like gee whiz, food is like a drug to me.
It is a drug, and you have to look at what are the things in your life that you still have a tether to.
Mm,
It may not be the highest good. It may not be the healthiest choices. Things that we want to clear out that are affecting you. What I mean by affecting you is your health and your peace of mind.
hmm
Okay,
hmm
there's only two reasons people get sick. It's either what you're eating or what's eating you,
mm,
and you get the metaphor.
hmm
So we have to look at the things that still disturb our mind, disturb our peace, and look at the things that chip away at feeling good about yourself. I mean, I had a
Yeah.
thought this morning and came through me. I was obvious of what was going on. If I'm resisting something or moving forward or have a lot of mind talk about stuff, I can see whether I'm feeling good about myself throughout the day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And your self-esteem and your self-worth is more valuable than you realize.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You,
if you have a practice of pumping yourself up, giving yourself self-talk, being your own cheerleader, do that.
yeah. Yeah, I think I generally have a pretty high self-esteem and feel good about myself.
Excellent.
but we talked about on the phone. I think we did, or at least it's on my mind if we didn't. Um,
What is it?
yeah, I can tend to be, in the yoga community, we talk a lot about, your self-talk, and pretty can be pretty hard on myself and say some pretty nasty things to myself and it's weird because I hear that, and then I don't, when I'm doing it, I don't really think of it as having low self-esteem or not loving myself, but I guess it is because you know I wouldn't say that to you, I wouldn't say these things to other people who I love.
Right. So that's for your healing. If whatever arises in you in the moment feels unkind, unloving, unnurturing toward yourself, well, the thing to do is just forgive yourself, choose again.
Yeah,
Choose the next
yeah,
thought, a higher thought, the more life-affirming thought. And then let that be your more predominant thought and your default thought, whatever you want to call it. And then those other thoughts, they tend to either disappear or don't show up.
yeah. Do you ever get stuck on like negative thoughts or emotions? Do you ever like catch yourself like
Yeah.
10 minutes has gone by and you've been like
Obsessed.
hyper? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I do. And what's fun is to be an observer of you, is to see yourself with a split screen. You know, they call it the witness,
yeah,
right? It's self-awareness. You're watching the thoughts come up for you, and you're just sitting there at a seat in a movie theater without getting upset about it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Then you can look at that character and go, oh, that's me being that guy again. I want to go back to me being calm and centered, that guy again.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yes,
these are just, and I wrote about it in my new book, The Inescapable Book. So people could tap into inner peace and well-being a lot faster than letting it drag out.
yeah, yeah. Um, well, can I ask you some urine therapy related questions?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
One of the things that I loved that you just briefly touched on that I did, I've only read that Golden Fountain book, and I didn't even read the whole thing. I've, skimmed sections, but you mentioned that you apply urine for sunscreen, and so I started to do that, and I just thought that was fascinating. And it made me wonder what other applications are there that I haven't read in 120-page book, or that may be more unknown in the community that I should know about.
192-page book.
Oh shoot. Is that one of the ones on I was going through your store just a minute ago.
The ones I've written, and this is the textbook in the urotherapy courses,
Nice.
the
I'm
manual
on it.
for therapy teachers and therapists.
Fantastic.
And
That'll be great.
the one with, and this is more for intermediate to advanced students that may even consider taking this into a career,
Mm-hmm.
which I've done quite well, and even how to talk to naysayers, how to do treatment suggestions, how to bring laughter into the conversation,
Yeah.
which we need.
Yeah.
And then this book is the basic primer for all the beginners.
Oh, all right. Saw
Both of
that one
them.
too.
Now, where do you live?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Okay. These I have a lot on stock if you ever want a signed copy of one of these.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
All right. And these you get from Amazon.
Cool.
And I'm real thrilled about that. So, in these books, Chad, is 24 topical protocols. All right. And they're going to range from doing a foot soak
Mm.
for 30 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
2 to 3 quarts of Orin, fresh, aged, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm. How come you call it Orin? Not to interrupt you.
There are several different names people in the worldwide community use to say, instead of the word urine, and I'll explain
Mm.
where it came from, they use the word Orin,
Mm.
ultrafiltered plasma water, or
Mm.
Shivambu.
Mm.
And Shivambu is a Sanskrit word. If you break it apart, it means the water of Shiva.
Mm. Very interesting. I like that. I like that kind of. I like the etymology stuff.
I do too. And if we ever decide to go down that metaphysical discussion hole, we'll go some crazy places. So,
Hey, I would love to. I love that stuff, and the more sort of spiritual and metaphysical we can take it, the better. So,
good, because this water is beyond description. I'd venture to say it's a category all unto itself because it's an all-inclusive water that knows exactly what the blueprint of your cells are, and it can take whatever it finds in the plasma and create stem cells and antibodies and thousands of remedies for you to regenerate.
yeah, yeah. Um, Hey, let me and please stop me if I'm like taking us on too many different tangents.
Okay.
But if when we were talking on the phone, I feel like we were of the same mind of, about health generally, and sort of disregarding some of the mainstream junk that is sort of foisted on people. And
And woke up. Yep.
so you just mentioned the urine having antibodies, and I've sort of recently stumbled down this path of investigating whether viruses are actually things that, like, can you really get sick from like touching something and then putting the germ in your mouth? And so
Yeah.
I'm sort of, I don't expect you to answer this, but like, are you rolling around every day like afraid of coming into contact with germs? Because I've sort of like become
And
like, I don't barely even wash. I never really wash my hands outside when I gotta rinse off for work and
I'm
smell appropriate.
I'm not a germaphobe, Chad. I'm a guy who walks out in the world realize or carrying with me what some call the pillar of protection, the armor of God, the white tube of white light, the violet consuming flame, Archangel Michael. I got this powerhouse of teams with me. I just walk through. I mean, I live 5 blocks from three 5G towers. It doesn't phase me,
Wow, wow, yeah, nice,
you know? So that's where I'm at with that.
yeah. How'd you? I mean, you've been at this a long time and steeped in this, but like, how does somebody get from where I'm sitting to like where you're? I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I sort of feel like I'm on that track, but yeah,
Okay,
just
let's shortcut it because life is happening. Here's a quote from John Lennon. He sang a song to his son Sean. He says, "Life is what's happening when you're busy making other plans." So, before the day runs, pulls us away, and the things we think we have to do take us down the rest of the day, the realm of this, of where I live or have my being, is the realm of what some people call the quantum field. 0 point stillness. Some people just call it free of beliefs in programming.
mm, mm,
So the sooner you can use uh, practices and exercises that bring those old beliefs about yourself and those old other things that are affecting every area of your life, your health, your relationships, your money, et cetera, the sooner you can liberate yourself from them, the sooner everything that's attached to them unravels and your mind opens up,
yeah, yeah,
as does your heart.
yeah, huh? That's a lot to unpack, but that's
That's a
good.
lot to unpack. You got a pen and paper?
Yeah.
All right, write down these three sentence stems.
Okay.
They're in the book, but now's as good a time as any to give them to you. And if we go over,
Okay.
if we keep going, we keep going. Okay, number one, up until now, the last word, draw a line to the right to all the way to the end of the page. Number two, I am open to the possibility of, and draw a line to the right all the way to the end of the page. And number three, I choose to know. So these are called the sentence stem, and if you use them, you can have quantum breakthroughs and adjustments rather shortly. Number one, everything that you've been dragging through your life, everything that's still troubling you, triggering you, causing you discomfort and pain and all that stuff, uh, has been brought from the past, and it doesn't need to go into the moment or any further than that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
I like to call it all that matter that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
All right. So what
Yeah,
you do?
that's a hard one. That's a hard one. I mean, fully understand. That's a hard one. That's
Okay. Okay. Let's drop that adverb from hard one to easy one.
mm,
Okay. That's how quickly I can monitor a mind. So,
yeah.
all right. Up until now, what are something that's been troubling you or difficult or challenging you up until this moment?
Well, just generally that there's everything I'm doing, not everything, but a lot that I'm doing in my life is just a distraction from like getting to a place where you're at. Like I know that's the place I want to be, and here I am, like working a 9 to 5 and doing bullshit on the phone and wasting my time.
Okay. So, can you abbreviate that? Up until now, what was it
Up
like?
up until now, I've been wasting my time.
Okay. Up until now, I've been wasting my time. There's been some struggle in my life. And okay, so you get the idea. You're going to write
Yeah.
the fill them in. The second one is the one that breaks you through it by saying, I'm open to the possibility of,
Hmm. Open, yeah, open to the possibility of no longer wasting my time.
I'm open to the possibility of using my timing for the highest good. I'm open to the possibility of aligning with divine timing. I'm open to the possibility of trusting that I'm always doing the right thing at the right time.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, right. That
Okay. Okay.
maybe I'm not wasting my time.
No, no, that's just a form of self-punishment. Don't do that.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
Nice.
If it doesn't feel good in your body, it's probably not a kind thing you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, examine that and make a change.
Mm-hmm.
So the third one is I choose to know.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you say to yourself, silently or verbally, I don't know this, I don't know that, I don't know, I don't know. Well, what are you doing? You're telling the universe you don't want to know. You're saying, hold back wisdom. So the moment you switch to, I choose to know how to be myself in every situation, comfortable and free, or whatever you're going through, all of a sudden you know it. The solution appears.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no such thing as time. It's a concept, it's a construct, and the timeline, it's not up to us. In case
Yeah.
you figure that out, nothing's under control. So relax. So when you get a chance, play with these sentences and any of it you can do verbally, the better,
Okay. Cool.
because you're using the power of your fifth chakra, the spoken word, to bring things into form. And what you really want is to create life deliberately.
Yeah.
Isn't that a great way to live?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So, another question.
Um, all right. So, just to get back to the book, to circle back to the urine therapy, the white book is it would be a good beginner's guide, good for somebody just starting out on the path. Okay, got it.
Either just starting out on the path or wanting to introduce to somebody that you feel shy about telling them this is your practice, but this has been written by an expert and so that puts you out of the spotlight. It's a great way to get people other than your
Yeah,
friends and family introduced to the subject.
yeah, yeah. So another urine therapy related question I had was related to a video that you sent me, which I only watched 2 minutes of, but it was right off the bat, it was pretty profound. And there was a gentleman who was talking about looking at the urine, and he like knew he just knew that it wasn't an ordinary liquid, that there was something about it just by eyeballing it, that it was special. So that was fascinating to me, and I didn't listen on to see where he went with that. But the second piece that he said that was fascinating was that he ages it. He ages it, which was counterintuitive to me because I was like, I'm sort of like trying to drink it, almost as quickly as it's come out, thinking like the fresh, that it's like food, that it should be eaten fresh. But so aging it is special or does something interesting, huh?
Big time. You got. Let's go back to the idea that this is a category all into itself. So urine, aka urine. By the way, the word urine came from 1917 when the Rockefellers established dominion on the planet. And they took over every system you can imagine. And when they took over the healthcare system, they wanted to get rid of all the competition, so they started demonizing urine,
Hmm.
right? And so urine is a softer word, according to
Hmm.
Weber, instead of saying urine, which sounds disgusting. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
People are using softer, easier to say, receive words.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. I like that a lot.
Thank you. So go back to the question. Remind me of the question. I went off on a tangent.
Yeah. So I don't know whether there was a question in the
Oh,
first
age.
part, but yeah, yep,
Okay.
definitely.
Now, when you start reading my books, you'll notice that I reframe a lot of the English languages. And one of the words is aged and aging because when people hear that, they associate with losing your strength and your power and your virility and you becoming an old man or old woman. So I changed it to evolved or evolving because that really explains what it does the moment you collect it. It starts gaining in potency and in stem cells and everything. So the guys are collecting it anywhere from a month to 20 years.
Wow.
I've tried 13-year-old and it's black as you can imagine. And it,
No kidding. It's
yeah,
holy cow.
yeah. So there are people and more people in the worldwide community are bringing that into their practice, both orally and topically, because they feel something powerful from it.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Please don't ask for science or evidence or peer reviewed
No,
articles.
I don't actually don't want and not really terribly interested in that portion of it. But so are you so if you're going to age your urine, are you like filling a mason jar?
Whatever you can.
Should yeah.
Whatever you can. If you've got a
It doesn't matter if like it's different urinations, right? It's not like you can't do one in the morning and then add on later
oh,
in the day.
you can
Okay.
do it. Okay, first of all, it's an intuitive water, so you can't mess it up.
Okay.
This
That's
whole
good to think
practice,
of.
I've been having to debunk and simplify it for everybody for the last 8 years because we still got the medical filter
Oh,
overlaying.
I know. As I'm saying, as it's coming out of my mouth, I'm like, I'm totally like sciencing this thing, you
Right.
know?
So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what jar you use. It doesn't matter if it's a quart, a half gallon, a gallon, whatever you can use. If you're in a
Yeah.
country like Nigeria and all you got is plastic milk jugs, you use that.
Yeah.
It's more
Got it.
powerful than plastic. Now, what you cover it is irrelevant. Whether you use something soft like a cheesecloth, a sprouting bag, a nylon stocking, a coffee filter, and with a rubber band, some people think it needs oxygen. It doesn't because there's oxygen in it. When you first urinate, what do you see? Bubbles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And it's sanitized and it sterilizes itself so nothing can grow in it and contaminate it. Some
Okay.
people screw on a lid. Some people put in, like I do, is you just take an oversized lid, drop it on there.
Cool.
It's just to keep things from flying in.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. All right.
All right. And I'm not going to a seminar on that, but go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, the intuitive, I like that. The longer the better, but
The
just
longer, the better. And every guy had a different theory about how the measurement was. John Armstrong, who wrote The Water of Life, thought it was 4 days. I met a naturopath who thought it was 9 months because she said that's like gestation period, but it's intuitive. So 4 days, you feel like having some, 8 days, a month, 2 months, whatever. Follow your guidance system. Whether you actually put a date on a label on your jar or not is optional.
yeah. Okay, cool. Does it taste different when it's older?
It all depends on the person. A friend of mine who was from India, she had been saving hers for quite a few years, and she had to bring it to a triage situation in the hospital, and hers tasted like the weirdest, worst soy sauce.
Oh my goodness. No kidding.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she was a wife of a professor, and they like to live the high life, so they went to fancy restaurants and hotels and drank wine and what they thought was a good life, but it showed up in their urine. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool.
so and others tasted really fine without even a hint of ammonia.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't tasted anything like ammonia. I mean, not that I know what ammonia tastes like. Well, I know what the smell is like,
Yeah,
but
smell it. Yeah, I'm just pointing this out. If you don't already, get some pH strips.
mm,
All right, and the ones that really work are the ones that are rated up to 14.
okay,
Most of them at the stores only have it to 8 pH.
okay. You
Uh,
get those on Amazon?
you get them on Amazon, or you can go to our website that has everything imaginable. We have the one-stop shopping store, SHIVALIFESTYLE.com, ShivaLifestyle.com.
Cool. And so you do pH tests on the urine?
I do. Let's do it right now.
Yeah.
I like
Shoot.
I like to be in the moment, and this way people can see I actually am not a bullshitter and I walk my talk. So this was
Yeah.
collected about 30 minutes to an hour ago.
Okay.
Look at that color. Oh my goodness. All right, if you look at the chart, that's pretty much between an 8 and a 9. That's where you want to be. Anything over 7,
Okay.
you nail it.
Okay. Yeah. Do you drink a lot of water throughout the day?
Uh, Throughout the day, I'm either drinking Shivambu or I'm doing a distilled water or whatever kind of juice I put together. And I usually put in things like cayenne, ginger, turmeric, honey, whatever. If
Nice.
I'm doing see, I eat on the moderate side of food. If I feel like eating, I'm eating, but I live in the tropics, so I eat like 85% fruit,
Yeah, nice. Okay.
which is
Okay.
really cool. All right, you have next question.
Is your urine, I mean, where I was going with that question about drinking a lot of water, your urine is very rarely just clear, right? You're pretty much always producing yellow colored because that's that I do drink a ton of water because I sweat a lot
Yeah,
and
it will get lighter in color if you're fasting.
oh yeah, oh okay, that's interesting. I haven't really fasted besides the intermittent stuff and
Yeah, if you're
okay.
fasting, you're looping. You know what looping means?
I think I encountered that concept in the book, but I don't remember what it is. Or
Uh,
no, you mentioned it. What is it?
you consume everything you collect.
Oh, okay.
So you collect and you drink, and then next time you collect, you drink, and you do that all day long. And your urine's going to get lighter color. It might even taste closer to a coconut water.
Oh, do you always loop or do you only periodically loop?
I trust my guidance on this one. For the most part, I might even drink 3/4. Let's see, I'll drink at least one, maybe two, 1 to 2 liters a day.
Okay. What's for the challenged in terms of measurements? What's that work out to? 3 to 4, like
Quarts.
couple mason jars?
A couple mason jars. Yeah, I would say that.
Okay.
Now,
Nice.
I'm pretty much a devotee of this water, and my lifestyle kind of like reflects it. I have a water closet underneath the cabinet in the bathroom sink. I've got a jar in the back seat of the car with the collection cup in the
Ah.
front. I've got 3-year-old ready to spray on a cut, a burn, or whatever. Um,
Oh,
I mean, I'm outfitted to go wherever I need to go, and when I'm at the library, I go to the bathroom and I collect some.
yeah. Okay. I love it. I love it. And
So
so
you have your to-go first aid kit in a bladder.
yeah, great. You mentioned you've got 3-year-old for cuts and burns. Aged aged urine better for that kind of use, or
Well,
it's all. I mean, I know we're saying intuitive, but I'm still curious to hear like where your intuition takes you.
yeah. I don't necessarily compare the two. If I got
Okay.
the older stuff, that would be the go-to.
Yeah, got it.
It's been
Okay.
growing and everything.
Yeah.
I used it on a client. I was doing foot massage and reflexology at an outdoor event, and she put her bike down. She went to lock up her bike, and her hand hit the top of a post, and there was a nail. She started bleeding. I said, you know, a good thing to put on that would be some urine. And she goes, oh my God, someone just talked to me about that about 3 hours ago. I said, let me run to the car. I've got some. I came back. She let me put it all in her hand. It stopped bleeding. The next day she calls. She says it's healed. It's doing.
Oh my goodness.
So
Wow.
you can have it on hand for anybody, not just you.
Yeah, cool. Cool. Um, so another thing I wanted to ask you about was well, let me just I'll tell you about another sort of element of urine therapy that I've been doing. So, in the morning when I'm showering,
Hmm.
before I even turn the shower on, I'm sort of just cupping my hands and giving myself like a really thorough, for whatever reason, I get back from yoga and I've just got a lot of urine.
Yeah.
Um, Even
Yeah.
though I've been sweating profusely, I've still got a lot, and so I'm really soaking my face and soaking my hair real good.
Mhm.
And one of the other things I liked, without even particularly knowing why I'm doing it or uh, what the purpose is, simply because I read it in that book, I'm like snuffing
Mhm.
a pretty healthy amount up each nostril. And it just feels good to do that.
Yep.
I don't have congestion really, but it feels good to have, like, seems like a good. Well, I got it in my hands. There's extra there, so
Yeah. Well, you nailed it because that's one of the protocols in the books is urine drinking, snorting, sniffing.
yeah.
And what you're doing is I mean, you're doing a whole bunch of stuff. You're not only just, first thing you're doing is you're hydrating these five sinus cavities,
Oh,
right? And these are mostly dry on most people. They're dehydrated. You're also
oh,
crossing the
okay.
blood-brain barrier, and that's going to decalcify the pineal gland, get rid
Wow.
of different cranium and the brain sections,
Dang. Okay.
right? So keep that in mind when your energy dips during the day and you can't seem to track, there's no creative thoughts, you just go blank. Start snorting some.
Wow. Okay.
Watch yourself come back online.
Sweet. And it's wow. So it's decalcifying the pineal gland, and so I mean, I assume it probably goes without saying, but like you've been practicing this or following this all these years, and it's probably heightened your sense of spirituality. It must be, right?
Very much so, particularly when your nervous system and your adrenal glands aren't at the point of near blowout,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
a lot of people in my life are. They're at breakthrough, breakout, breakdown, crumble mode, and I'm standing holding love for them and doing the best
Dang.
so they can go, oh, I'm making too much out of it. Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I sort of live like half my life, not nowhere near that mode. But I mean, years ago I used to be there, but somehow I've really like become a lot more centered recently. But I still do have sort of a bifurcation of like, when I head off to the office in the morning. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I realize that 7 or 8 hours has gone by, and I've been in such a work brain mode
Yep.
that I come home and I'm sort of re-spiritualized in a different version of myself, who becomes centered again. It's I don't know.
That's
You
marvelous.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you could find a way to maintain that while working,
I know.
then
I
working
know.
become a meditation for you.
Yeah. I don't know why that's such a challenge. Like, I mean, we're talking about it, and I know it's something that I should try and work on. And I don't know. I don't know. It's like you probably don't. You probably. I shouldn't make assumptions, but I don't know how much TV you watch. But there's a
None.
there's a there's a TV program about people who go to this corrupt corporation for work, and the corporation put a chip in their brain so that their work life is totally separate from their home life. And I watched this program. I'm like, holy shit! Nobody put a chip. I guess the culture put a chip in my brain, so to speak. But I feel that bifurcation of like two
Yeah.
different versions of myself.
Yeah. So yeah, I lived with that for many, many years.
You did?
Yeah, and I found a way to. um, unplug from the matrix, from the false program, false reality.
How'd you begin that? We were talking a little bit about that on the phone. Like, what was even your first toe in the water of like deprogram? Like, how'd you even realize you were in the Matrix?
I had clues. I felt like Neo. I had clues.
Yeah, right.
I had clues up from like 15, 16, 18. When I was raised Jewish and I got disillusioned by religion altogether because here we are at the high holy days at the synagogue and my mom and all the gals are the chicken talking, right?
Yeah.
And up at the pulpit is their holy man, their spiritual teacher, the rabbi, and the guy who sings, right? And I'm looking at these people and go, what fucking hypocrites. I'm supposed to continue. How did, and I forget, I walked away. I dropped it.
Wow.
And at some point, I felt like God came to me. He says, "You don't need a middleman.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're walking together." So that took me into being a raw foodist, and I joined a raw food community and
Wow.
absorbed everything because spiritual teachers and health gurus and everybody was coming in and out of this 24-hour raw food restaurant in Austin, Texas.
Wow.
And so I picked up a whole lot of things within the first 2 years. I was learning everything that I was eventually going to use the rest of my life.
Wow. Huh. And
And
then
in the
it's
middle of it is meditation.
yeah.
In the middle of
Yeah.
it is be able to quiet your mind so your mind doesn't run you or control you.
Yeah. Fuck, my mind is, even though I meditate, my mind's like, boy, it's not tame, so to say.
It's not tame, but before I forget, I'm going to give you a new way or a new way to frame work. All right, we're going to go from the old paradigm words of work and a job, because that sounds like drudgery to me,
Mm-hmm.
to calling it your highest passion or your highest pleasure.
Okay.
So I'm going to use it in an affirmation. You can either remember it or write it down, but here it goes. And
Okay.
I use this, and when you start repeating some of these affirmations and they finally click as a true statement, then that becomes your new reality.
Okay.
So here's the affirmation. My highest pleasure is the pipeline in which I tap the infinite money supply for the greatest good of all, including myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when your work is your pleasure, and you enjoy it at that level, like when I talk to people or I touch people doing massage, I get equal benefits.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just got to work with your mind about how you approach everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I'm being even in saying portraying work or the job as this like thing that just takes me away. Maybe I'm even being a little too hard on myself because I do find enjoyment in being good at what I do, and I know that it provides me a nice life,
There's that, yeah.
and it actually make like yeah, I'm actually shitting on work too much. I'm realizing this like as we're talking like. I actually enjoy when I get to come home and do my spiritual practices and reading my books. I enjoy it more.
Yeah,
Like,
quality.
it's nice to look forward to something, and it's nice. I suspect, and I've even encountered that sometimes when I have like 3 straight days to just read and just be sort of, doing the things that I would choose as the first order things, they're not as fun when I'm doing them all day, every day, you
Well,
know?
I mean, you can set it up any way you want to, but the whole idea is to have comfort and ease in your life again.
Yeah.
So the things that you used to do that would dominate you and steal you away from just being,
Mm,
there's
yeah.
Chad the doer, and then there's Chad
Yeah.
the beer, and Chad the beer is the holy man that you keep uh, inviting back into your life at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole lot of doing and not enough being. I know that. I know. Um,
There's a way to balance it out. Getting there is the work.
yeah. So what was that gentleman saying on the video that you sent me? He was like really really just in awe looking at the urine, and he just knew that it was special. Do you know that too when you just have you
I know that every time I collect it, I know every time right before I drink it, I honor it. When I'm doing classes, we do a prayer
wow.
after we get started because they don't call it the water of life for nothing. There's
Yeah.
there's a sacredness in this water. There's a consciousness. Shivambu actually has a consciousness with incredible guidance system, with incredible nutrients to calm you down. So there's something supernatural and metaphysical about working with source energy that's in the liquid form. That's why they
Yeah.
call it Shiva. I mean, if you think that the snake eats its own tail and it's a continual system,
Mm.
we are a closed system within
Mm.
ourselves, but the matrix in the world wanted to break you out of that, which creates the illusion of separation and division.
Wow. Wow. I had never thought of that that symbol me being that. There's a lot of I really like symbolism, and I had never thought of that being one of the messages in that, however you say Uroboro or
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's cool.
So this water is as meaningful as you say it is.
Hmm.
The people who really get it, I call them Shivambu devotees
Mm.
because they're not walking away from it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When you built it into your lifestyle, it not only affects you in all kinds of positive ways, uh, it gives you a level of confidence and certainty when there are people who are struggling and helpless with their health, and you have an answer for them.
Yeah.
I'm at the point I don't care what their response is. If I can offer it in a way that they'll hear it, great.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really breaking out of the matrix. It's just being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
people are ready for it because of the 2020, everything that's happened since 2020 now, and people have questioned every single thing, realizing the medical profession doesn't do them any good. They're looking for alternatives, and here's radar. On their radar comes urine therapy.
Yeah. God, you must have you seen just an incredible rise in people wanting to know what you know since 2020?
Yeah, big surge. And since 2020, more voices coming out, more podcasters, influencers, high-end naturopaths, formulas. They're putting their name and reputation on the line to get the word out.
Yeah. 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 Do you don't strike me as a guy who would have these concerns, but do you ever I don't even know how to put it, like do you ever worry that it's becoming too popular or like people are bastardizing it or anything like that?
No, and I don't have the concern of them coming after me.
Mm.
You know, I had that when I went from just a wellness practitioner in Boulder, Colorado to an international pea guru. And my whole life just went, I'm on all these platforms and shows and interviews and radio and television, blah, blah, blah. And I notice all these guys that are bringing out the whistleblowers, the
Mm.
truthers. Some of them have been threatened, scared, killed, all that stuff. I'm going, I'm just a guy talking about pee. And I haven't felt any attack from any direction.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that like I forget what you actually said, but something along the lines of like one of my favorite books, the one of the sort of mottos or mantras in it is actually, have you ever heard of the author Robert Anton Wilson?
Yes.
Yeah, so in one of his books, the phrase that gets used over and over again is there is no governor anywhere, which is to say, so he was like an anarchist, and you could read it on the surface level, like, there's no the man who can really control you, but like on a more esoteric level, I think he meant like you're like what you're just saying, like you're just spread, like nobody's gonna come after you. You're just governing. you're your own governor and there's just you, obviously.
I'm going to tell you who I am by telling you who you are. Okay. You are a whole, perfect, strong, sovereign, divine being, right? You're here to experience, express, and enjoy the infinite being that you are in the many, many ways that you bring out your creative energy and your imagination and your work out into the world. Same here. I'm a sovereign being. I don't owe allegiance to any man, woman, child, only to the divine in all of them.
Yeah, yeah,
And so that helps me to uh, be in situations that would normally scare the you know what out of me.
yeah, yeah. Do you experience fear or anything like that, or are you pretty much at a level where that doesn't that's not really an emotion that creeps in?
It may from time to time, but not very often.
Yeah,
When I'm
yeah,
still enough, I realize the other person's just asking for help.
yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good way to reframe it.
Those are guys that are insecure and they start attacking you verbally, or they may even come after you physically. And this is what they do in martial arts. And in Tai Chi, they basically work with someone's energy to bring them to balance.
Mm,
And when you can get into that dance and that energy, then you're fearless.
yeah, cool.
And you won't be in a situation where you have to fear.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Hey, let me circle back. Let me circle back. I have a couple other urine therapy related questions I want to hit.
Yeah,
If we have, I know we're getting short on time, but
we're doing good and we can always reschedule. Go ahead.
one of the other applications is was talking about eye drops, and is that some, yeah, do you do that? And what is that? What is that? Oh, so you actually get a drop little. Oh, okay,
It's called an eye cup.
okay,
Most of them are made of glass, some are made of hard plastic. You just simply cup it over the eye and form a suction, blink 5 or 10 times, leave it open, your eye open as long as you can. And then you switch eyes, do the same thing. And then when you're all done, just pour it over one of your eyes. That's an eye wash.
yeah. Does it sting?
The fresh doesn't.
Okay,
Anything over 3 days old might, but you can dilute it with fresh or distilled water so you don't have that sting which lasts for 3 or 4 seconds.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
And the advanced users use swimming goggles.
Oh, I think I saw that in Golden Fountain. That's funny.
Yeah, yeah, this guy out in Montana figured it out. So you can do both eyes at once.
Yeah, wow, huh?
Make
Oh,
sure,
what
make sure you always have one of these around.
was that? A cotton swab?
Cotton ball.
Okay,
All right. So you can dab it on something, a cut, a scratch, edema. You can put this in a belly button, your ears, whatever.
yeah,
That's good
okay.
stuff around.
Um, hey, so a couple, maybe a week or two ago, I wear a watch and it's got a cloth, a textile strap of some sort, and was doing my shower routine,
And
and then like an hour later, I was like, God, something around here smells bad, and it was the watch band that had retained the urine. Is that so? If it's so, then I got to thinking. So I'm doing the hair rinse, but I haven't gotten to the step of just leaving. Like I shampoo 10 minutes later because I'm like, oh, I don't want my hair to smell like that.
well,
Will it? Does hair retain that odor?
after a while, it evaporates, it outgasses, and if you're really not
Oh, okay.
confident, just dab some essential oil in your hair.
Yeah, okay. And so like my hair gets pretty greasy if I don't shampoo it regularly. Um, does urine will it? Do you think it would get greasy if I just use urine only?
Yep, yep.
Okay.
That's all I use. And every time I use it, my hair looks darker. And you wouldn't know to look at me, but May 25th, I'll be 71 years old.
Dang. Yeah, he would not know.
No, but I've been in the wellness lifestyle since 77.
That's crazy, man. I can't see you that well, but you don't appear to have like an aged face. Like, holy crap, man.
So yeah, so you can look as young as you want at any age. Most of that is how you hold your energy and your thoughts,
Okay, nice.
and letting your inner child play.
So, we're my questions are like,
They're great questions.
thank you. Yeah, I've actually really enjoyed just like talking to you. You're a really easy guy to talk to and really interesting. And I'm sort of bouncing, I know, between urine therapy and just general like spirit like ways of living and being. And I
Recovering.
so I want yeah, I wonder like so out of your books, I'm like the one you told me about on the phone, the newest one. s- I feel like that's where I want to start, but does that talk about urine therapy at all, or is that more just
The newest book?
yeah,
Hold on.
okay.
All right, this is the newest book.
Yes. Great cover, by the way.
Thank you. And thanks to AI for taking all my.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah, you prompt them, you paint the picture in words and they put that together.
Sheesh.
And I said, I wanted it like this with this kind of flowers with a winding stream to these mountains, which represent the Grand Tetons and Mount Shasta, where they saw the masters. And that's it. Okay, so
Neat.
this book, all the other books that I've written, Chad, were designed, except for one, was designed to help people through their health challenges and learn about urine therapy and self-healing and self-mastery, blah, blah. Right? So that was my audience for 8 years. And I realized that there's an audience in the billions that are seeking inner peace and well-being more than trying out a new self-healing technique. So this book came through, wrote it in 5 months, which is like a record for me, and it's now in the Hawaii State Library system. So what
Nice.
this does is it gives practices and exercises to liberate your mind from your mind and find yourself again. And there's hints at urine therapy, but it's not obvious in the book.
Okay. Cool.
So that's what
I
that.
think I think I might actually begin there. That's just generally reading wise. That's sort of the material that I'm most into, or gravitate most towards. But so I was looking at your courses. I'm gonna snag the book, and there were a couple really interesting sounding courses that I don't yet know exactly what they're about, but they sound interesting enough where I'm pretty intrigued. Like the physical immortality one is.
Chapter 14 in the book.
Oh yeah, okay, good. All right, we're on the right track. I'm on the
Chapter
right track then.
14, yes, immortality is the cure for illness and for suffering because people unconsciously are miserable or have self-hatred or think that ascension will take them to a higher place, and the highest place you can go is with the highest thoughts you can hold. And so ascension is being liberated and without limits in the physical body.
Hmm.
And so it's for everybody, but you don't have to die to get there. That's a spiritual trap.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I like to unravel. In this book, I unravel some of the spiritual terms like higher self and levels and the words that we throw around all the time but don't really understand what they mean.
yeah. Have you ever had any like revelatory experiences like I've met, hopefully I didn't ask you this on the phone already, but like you hear about people who meditated and attained samadhi, or people who've done this or that and just like had had this out of body experience. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
Yeah, I have. And being around those people are just transformative because their
Wow.
mind is free and they're laughing at everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. That's right. I did ask you about that because you were, that's, I remember that. I remember you saying that. God, man, I mean, I guess wanting to get there is paradoxically not going to get me there, but it's like,
This is why like I do series with people because each time you chip away in more and more of the programming, the belief systems that are in your blind areas.
yeah,
You want to shine the light on everything, so things that used to be discordant or disharmonious to you, whether you're conscious or not, are still playing out. Once you can get those uh, broken out, I mean, you got reservoirs of energy and aliveness that you can tap into.
yeah,
And this is what the breatharians do. This is what some of the fruitarians are doing. And I had to write about immortality and put it into all these people's thought systems because they thought fruitarianism or urine therapy or even spiritual practices was their salvation. But if you still have death and you're unconscious about it, it'll still take you out. So
yeah,
that's why I like, bring that out in the public because it's Leonard Orr started talking about 40 years ago, and it's been building momentum. So it's a part of the collective consciousness.
yeah. How do you conceive of immortality? I assume it's not a not to get sciency on you, but you don't literally believe that you'll uh you know you brother Sage are gonna live forever in that body, right?
Yeah, I will until I decide otherwise.
Ah,
I mean, what I'd ask you to do is stick around for a couple hundred years and let's just talk about it.
nice, yeah,
Yeah, see, that's what I've been doing all these years is dominating your mind with life affirming and positive thoughts. So
right,
you
right,
entertain that, well, what if this would end? It's almost like saying, well, how when you hit your good in your life, people used to say, well, it couldn't get any better than this. Well, how could your good keep continuing if you thought there was a limit to it?
right, yeah.
Last time I checked my birth certificate, there wasn't an expiration date on it. So,
Yeah, I've got to give you major kudos. I sense like the reframing or sort of flipping the script like all throughout what you're saying, and it obviously comes really naturally to you. But that's cool. It's really cool. Like I can't wait to attempt it myself.
well, it's already started to. Just the fact that we had our initial conversation, Chad, um, things are going to start improving in your life. Things are starting to become more magical and miraculous, even before the day's over.
Yeah, man. I honest to God can feel it, and that's cool. I don't know. I don't know what you did, but I guess I'll say I did it.
Well, or you could say the creator worked through us today, and we co-created this moment in this session, and I would love to be on your team and support you in your mastery and your sovereignty any way I can.
Cool, man. I feel the same way. So
Thank you.
yeah, let's just see where it goes.
Right on, right on. So you can get the books either online or through me, like these two. I've got copies of these. The other one's on Amazon. I'm about to order another 36 of these for book signing. Did I tell you I got a book signing signed up at a library in Hawaii?
Yeah, that's incredible. I
Ah!
can't even. It's kind of shocking. Like people are wanting this in that way.
Well, it's an untapped market, and what I've been doing is using my life experiences as a teaching device. So I'm documenting every step it takes for a self-published author, if you decide to go that route, how to go into a market few people know about, which is public libraries
Yeah,
and
yeah,
organizations that support authors and helping them sell their books. So
yeah. When are you doing that? When are you doing the signing?
that's June 16th.
Okay, cool.
And once they said they're going to design a digital announcement, a digital flyer. Once they send me that, yeah, I can go nuts with that one.
Nice, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, just follow guidance. You never know what doors are going to open. I just happen to be
I
at the
know.
library. I just happen to have a book, and my mind says, give them a free copy. And now here, 4 months later, this happened.
Yeah, yeah. That's wild.
It's got to be the subject because they weren't too excited about urine therapy. Live and learn. That was Boulder. I gave one to downtown Boulder, Colorado on urine therapy. They not only said no to it, they wouldn't give me my book back.
No kidding.
Yeah,
I would have thought you would have had an audience there.
it's a democratic city. That says enough right there.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
So, between now and whenever we get together again, write down anything that came up for you, like a journal,
Okay,
so that you can review it or see where you can, gain some understanding from it.
great. I will. Never done it before, but always aspired to, and seems like the right time to begin.
Well, 2025, you've got new technology. You could either write it or voice text it through your device.
Yeah, no, I like to write. That'll be good. That'll be fun.
Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Um,
Okay, good. I appreciate you a great deal. This has been very enjoyable and just overall great stuff. So,
Thank you, thank you. So I'm going to